Is it the ultimate flight sim challenge? Real-world procedures, real-world weather, networked virtual pilots like me, and real people serving as simulated air traffic controllers. The pressure is high, helicopters are challenging at the best of times, mistakes will be made, I promise you that, but that's all just part of the fun, right? So let's face our fears and let's learn together. Let's take our popular H125 helicopter to a place of internationally recognised beauty, and let's fly. So to get the official charts for this flight, you'll need to look at VATNZ and find the NZQN information for Queenstown, and they've got links there, the very helpful people at VATNZ, to the official New Zealand publications. It's just that I'm not allowed to reproduce them, so I'm just going to draw here on Navigraph. So the Remarkables departure, what we're going to do is, we've got the stiff southerly coming in today, it's going to make this quite interesting. We are going to track direct to the Remarkables knoll here. And what we will do then is follow the spur or the road up to the landing site, which in our case is going to be the Remarkable ski area up here. Now we are to remain 7,000 feet or below on that departure, and we will contact tower when we land at that site, or probably when we vacate that airspace there. So that is the departure. And this is spectacular Queenstown Airport in New Zealand's Southern Alps in the South Island. We are going up there to the Remarkables and trying out some of these interesting procedures, getting some practice on VATSIM, increasing our confidence on VATSIM. It's always a little bit intimidating, but it's fun. All right, let's get inside this machine and get things started up. Yeah, and we're just at idle here already, and we've got our lucky passengers on board. Identical twins, apparently. Great. So let's get on the radio here. We are tuned into 118.1, the Queenstown Tower. What have we got on the ATC? We have got runway 23 in use, runway condition dry, no kidding. Surface wind 150 at 15, so that's reasonably strong, and it's coming from over there. Now one might argue that that's beneficial for us because we'll get almost get effective translational lift for free without having to do anything, but we will have to keep an eye on our right pedal and our right cyclic on when we go to lift off. We've got the wind coming in from our right, so that's actually quite good for our tail rotor. So if it were coming from the left, we'd sort of have a reduction of thrust available to us and I'd need more pedal. But no, I suspect that the tail rotor to some extent will be an effective translational lift as well. So these are good things, but it's still going to be a challenge to keep everything nicely balanced when we lift off here. What else have we got? Good visibility, temperature 20, QNH 1016, that's already in. Field elevation here is about 1,200. So let's get on the line to tower. Let's see how we go. Queenstown Tower. Hello, helicopter X-Ray Bravo Victor on the helipad.
X-Ray Bravo Victor, Queenstown Tower, g'day.
Tower X-Ray Bravo Victor requesting, we are filed for VFR operations on the Remarkables, and we're requesting a Remarkables departure.
X-Ray Bravo Victor, cleared the Remarkables departure. Information Juliet, current QNH 1016.
1016, and sorry, I forgot to give you the ATIS, which I just dutifully read, and we are cleared the Remarkables departure. X-Ray Bravo Victor. I'm just going to check because we will need to cross the 1432 runway, which is right in front of us, and I'll just check that with Tower. And Tower, just to confirm, X-Ray Bravo Victor, we are clear to cross the 1432 runway?
X-Ray Bravo Victor, hey Sam, you're clear to cross you're clear to cross runway 14.
Roger, X-ray Bravo Victor, so that's not a problem. So, alright, well, we are all ready to go. Well, we're not ready to go because I have not got us up to flight. So, here we go. We see the FLI come to life, and we see our rotor RPM building up here. Get that landing light on. All our other lights are on. That's good. The low RPM horn does not work in this simulated version of the H125. Not ideal, but we'll make do with that here. Okay, so we're going up there to the Remarkables Knoll. And let's get ready for this with our wind coming from the right. I'm starting to raise the collective. Getting the right cyclic and the right pedal ready. I don't know how much that we will need with those wind coming in from the right there. Let us see. Starting to get lighter now. Yep. A little bit sticky on the ground there, but not too bad in the end. So we build speed, nose down. Okay, we're all good for traffic here. And we're away. Queenstown Tower, X-ray Bravo Victor, airborne 1,500 feet, tracking Remarkables Knoll.
X-ray Bravo Victor.
Oh, I've got a lot of right pedal in. More than I would have expected, given that we've got that wind coming in from our right here. You can even hear the wind effects in the cockpit. Now let's start to get this trim right. I use the quick trim, which operates similarly to the so-called force trim in the other MSFS 2024 helicopters. Holding that down, bringing the stick back to the center, and you might have noticed the trim indicator on the input viewer changing. Okay, so we're a little bit below our best climb speed. I should have checked that before I got into this machine. I think that is 60 knots, so I'm going to give us a little bit more, lifting up the collective there, whilst keeping us just hopefully below that yellow band on the first limit indicator. Climbing at 1,000 feet. Now, I have noticed a bug a couple of times here, and in fact I wonder if we might just be hitting it now. I noticed that our vertical speed has dropped to nothing. There's some sort of a translation issue between layers. Well, I don't know what it is actually, but I just noticed that I've really got to push through with excessive power here just to get us through about 3,000 feet in these conditions. And yes, see, the road's actually above me now to my right there, so we are sort of below profile, I guess you would say. And I'm redlining on the first limit indicator. That's not realistic. We would not be doing that in real life. But we just hit a kind of an invisible wall or something, an invisible ceiling. Not quite sure why MSFS 2024 is doing that, but another little issue to work out. But we're through it now, 4,700. We're not going to be far short of 7,000 by the time we get up to the Remarkable ski area. It is the middle of summer, so I think these people are likely to be going hiking more than skiing. Okay. Follow the spur. That's in the published arrival, departure, I should say. Incredible scenery. Look at that. What a place to visit. There's the road going up. We follow the spur. Oh, and this... Once we got through that weird ceiling, this H125 is just performing beautifully now. Very strange. Okay, that's looking good, following the road in. Now we're not that far away, so it's a very fast trip when you're in a powerful machine like this one. So what we're going to do is we'll drop off these people at the car parking area, which is just coming into view now. The building there is the main chalet. What word should I use for that? For the remarkable ski area. We can see the chair lifts, and I need to be pulling back on our power now. Whoops, that's the wrong trim button. That's the correct one now. Okay, that's a bit too slow now. Let's fix that. Just going to land in the car park here. Not realistic, but good for our purposes today to explore this procedure in Queenstown. Getting the more right pedal in as we are in a very high power situation now in a hover. A bit hard to see with the dust, but I will do my best here. Yes. Alright, what happened there was that I raised the collective at the last instant before touch. We touched, and then with that raising of the collective we just sprung off the ground again. So a bit of tentative piloting on my part. Alright, so we are down. So we'll just call into Queenstown. Queenstown Tower. Helicopter X-Ray Bravo Victor. We have landed at the Remarkables ski area.
X-Ray Bravo Victor.
Alright, now let's look at this departure, which will be interesting. So we are perhaps facing a southerly here with a downdraft as well. That might give us a bit of extra lift. I'm just going to have to see what that's like in the helicopter. So hopefully we'll be proceeding here and getting sufficient altitude to cross Lake Alta beside Double Cone here, where we will contact tower and give our position and request the Remarkables arrival, which looks like this. Going direct to Deer Park, a prominent hill right here. We need to be 7,000 feet or below for that. And we will remain above 5,000 feet until we cross this patch of water here, the Frankton Arm, to get up to Queenstown Hill. So we may only pass below 5,000 feet when we get here, and that's just to allow the safe passage of the aircraft coming in and out of the main runway there in Queenstown. So from here we kind of turn around and we'll be careful of incoming traffic because there's another arrival here. The other arrival is the Johnson arrival, and they sort of merge into one here. So we'll be keeping an eye out for traffic on our left, or departing over here as well. We have a clearance limit of the north end of Lake Johnston here. I beg your pardon, Lake Johnson. I imagine we'll be getting down to about 3,000 to 3,500 here, and we'll be hopefully getting a clearance to proceed with our arrival. We'll be going into the wind now, which will be much nicer, and maybe following that general aviation runway here for taxi back into the helipad right here. So that's the Remarkables arrival. So the wind will be from our front left at the moment, so I'm not quite sure what that's going to do to our performance here. We'll just have to feel it. So I'm raising the collective now. Raising the collective. What will happen here? We go backwards, so we cyclic forward, and not the worst pickup, a little bit sudden. So I think we've got enough wind. I'm going to cut this a bit fine over the good people here. Be a bit of a spectacular moment on the ground with me taking off like this over the ski equipment, chair lifts. That one's actually still operating over on the left there. How cool. We climb out, we will find Double Cone up the top there, and just emerging now on our right, Lake Alta. So let's come over here. Started our first bit of trim, and we're all good. We are all fine. So we're at 6,500. We have not been too outrageous on the first limit indicator, although it's right up on the yellow now. You always think of an escape route. The escape route would have just been to reverse course and go back there. Now, get ready for our view. Look at that. Lake Wakatipu. Queenstown. Spectacular. Just spectacular. Blue snow. And there's the airport. Way down there on my lower right. Time to call the tower. Queenstown Tower, helicopter X-ray Bravo Victor, double cone, 6,500 feet, tracking Deer Park for the Remarkable's arrival. Request clearance.
X-ray Bravo Victor, cleared Remarkable's arrival. Remain south of the runway 23 extended center line.
Cleared the Remarkable's arrival and stay south of the runway 32 extended runway 23 extended center line. X-ray Bravo Victor. So that's the left-right, the runway running left-right there in my view. So I'll need to be careful of that. Deer Park, I think I might have just been going a bit crazy on that descent. I've got too much collective in is the issue. And now that's really not great piloting right there. And in fact, I'm not to go below 5,000 feet here anyway, so that extremely sudden descent and high-speed manoeuvre that I've just put our wonderful passengers through might have been a bit too dramatic. So let's see how we're looking now. And I've just busted through that 5,000 foot ceiling or floor. Let's get that sorted out. Oh, it all happens very fast coming out of there. So are we over Deer Park? Yes. Tower X-ray Bravo Victor Deer Park, 4,800. Understand we are supposed to be at minimum 5,000. Just correcting that now.
X-ray Bravo Victor.
And Tower, we'll need your clearance to proceed over the centre line here to get to Queenstown Hill.
X-ray Bravo Victor, stand by, I'll call you back.
I will stand by. So I think we might just need to do a little circle here while we wait for this clearance to come through. Remaining south of that extended centre line. What a view! Can't stop talking about it.
X-ray Bravo Victor, cleared across the 23 extended center line.
Cleared to cross the extended centre line, runway 23, X-ray Bravo Victor. Bit of a free, bit of extra scenery there for our lucky. I think we've just managed to get ourselves into Vortex ring state there as well. How exciting! All right, so what have we got here? There's Queenstown Hill, and I need to arrange. The next target there is that Lake Johnson.
Queenstown, hello to Zoo 605 is on the RNAV T3.
Queenstown 605, Queenstown approach, continue approach, number 1.
And in real life here, we'll be concerned about aircraft coming from the front left there on the Johnson arrival, coming from Moonlight, which is in that general direction I'm looking over there. We're all clear today. As I continue this descent, down to the northern end of Lake Johnson. Lowering the collective still. Clearance limit is the northern end of that lake, so I'm not to proceed past that without further clearance from tower. 4,200. This is helping us with our altitude situation here, which is a good thing.
Sorry, Bravo Victor, traffic is name 320 to your 2 o'clock in approximately 11 miles.
We'll look for that traffic. X-ray Bravo Victor. Now, I'm assuming you want us behind that and not in front of that for our approach, so we'll stay at the northern end of Lake Johnson for now.
Thanks, man.
X-ray Bravo Victor. Okay, so that's Good. So what we might do is just do a little circling descent here, just while we wait for this aircraft to come in. I think he said it was an A320.
New Zealand 605, runway 23, clear to land.
23, auto line, New Zealand 605.
The RNAV arrivals as a passenger coming in to this airport are just spectacular. Last time I did it, I had my phone push up to the window taking a time lapse of the whole thing, and it's really quite fun to watch back. Now, can I get this aircraft visually? I don't have a lot of experience here with vPilot and VATSIM in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. We're doing the right thing here. We're keeping up the clearance limit here at the northern end of Lake Johnson. I do not have visual on that aircraft. In 2020, the landing lights were always very bright, and maybe they were a little bit too bright, but it did it did allow you to see them nicely in a simulated environment like this. All I can see is bug splatter on my windows. No aircraft, no approach.
X-ray Bravo Victor, will you be returning to the helipad?
Affirm, straight back to the helipad. X-ray Bravo Victor.
X-ray Bravo Victor.
Tower X-ray Bravo Victor, I assume looking at this that would probably just run it as an approach onto runway 14 and then hover taxi back to the helipad. I believe I'm not supposed to fly over the apron.
X-ray Bravo Victor, you can fly over the apron with permission from myself, it's up to you. You can shoot an approach for 14 or I can just give you instructions straight up to the helipad.
Okay, well, let's do to the helipad when we are clear of the traffic.
X-ray Bravo.
Oh, I can finally see the plane. It's right on the runway now. There it is, behind the bug splatter. So I'm going to anticipate a clearance here.
X-ray Bravo Victor, caution the A320 backtracking runway 23. Lands, correction, lands your discretion on the helipad.
Alright, we've got that aircraft in sight on the runway, and we are proceeding in for helipad 1. X-ray Bravo Victor. Good, that worked out well. Let's go and have a look at that plane.
New Zealand 605, backtrack runway 23, vacate right to Alpha Tree for the apron.
Backtrack 23, vacate right on Alpha Tree, New Zealand 605.
Okay, so let's get that nose up a bit and lower the collective. We've still got 1,000 feet to go. There's the New Zealand aircraft there backtracking. What a sight. Alright, we're going down quite fast now, but we're quite a bit higher up there over Lake Johnson than we are down here at the airport elevation. Hello. Super. Alright, so we will not fly around those light towers. And we will try and get our nose into the wind back over here at the helipad. Now we start to lift the collective, and there's going to be a lot more left pedal needed. Get that down a bit. Okay, not too bad, I think. Just look out to those trees at the end there to keep my lateral reference about right. Hover and down. Oh, that wasn't as bad as the one up on the ski field. I think I did alright there. Let's get that back to idle. Tower Helicopter X-Ray Bravo Victor on the helipad. Thanks very much for the ATC.
Sorry, Bravo Victor. Cheers. Have a nice evening.
And thank you to all the volunteers at VATNZ and the many other VATSIM divisions all around the world. My advice to new virtual pilots, take your time, go to your VATSIM division and see if they have any charts for helicopter procedures. And if you're online and there's an instruction you don't understand or you're just feeling a bit lost, just say so. If ATC isn't swamped, they'll do their best to help you. Subscribe, please, for more helicopter tips, tutorials and reviews, and I'll catch you next time.